On the 20th of June 2006, Frauke Liebs disappeared after leaving an Irish pub. This happened in Paderborn, a German city. There was a FIFA World Cup match between England and Sweden taking place at the time. That was the football match she was watching together with her best friend in the Irish pub. Afterwards, she left for home. This was around 11 p.m. Her phone battery was dead, so she borrowed the battery of her friend. And at the end of, before she left around 11 p.m., she gave back the battery to her best friend, and she left. Her home was around 15 minutes away from the Irish pub, and this was all close to the city center. Now, long story short, she ended up texting her roommate, which was also her ex-boyfriend, that she would come back later and nothing was wrong. But she didn't appear. And within the next week, she made several phone calls. They also called her, and she sounded quite vague, as if she was held captive. And when they often ask her, why did you come home? She say, I cannot tell. Well, on the 27th of June 2006 was the last time they had contact with her. Her mom went to the cops, but the police was not that motivated to do something about it. Why? Because Frauke was an adult, and as adults sometimes do, they get away for a little while. So the police considered it as just a grown woman just wanted to take some time out and she will reappear. Well, 3.5 months later, this was on the 4th of October 2006, her skeletonized body was found. It was in a forested area near Lichtenau. Well, here's the thing, Lichtenau is a bit away from Paderborn. Later it was discovered that the first text message she sent after disappearing came from a city called Nieheim, also a bit removed from Paderborn. Now, understand the following. This case is still unsolved, even after speaking to over 900 potential suspects. The police, from around 900 people, gathered 5 people of interest, but all of them had an alibi. This case even came to a German TV show to get nationwide attention, and on YouTube, since then, many YouTubers discuss the case. So I'm not going into the content of the case. I want to check the context. The context is that a young woman, she was 21 years old, she was a student nurse, she had whole life ahead of her, she was not involved in criminality, nor was she on the streets causing trouble. She was, according to how people describe her, someone with a good heart, with a good sense of empathy, wanting to help out other people. She was someone that loved to go partying, but she was the type of woman who would just go home with strange men. So overall, her profile is that of a young woman who, even though she's a bit conservative, she is willing to have a good time, and she has a strong sense of duty. Well, she had, I mean. So, based on this, we have to conclude that whoever killed her wanted her gone, not because of anything wrong she may have done, but because of the good she stood for. Now, let me explain. In this world, when you operate in a positive attitude, it will trigger retaliation from miserable people. Miserable people, as narcissistic as they are, they don't want to face themselves. So they want everyone else around them to be just as miserable as they are, or worse. When they encounter someone who's better off than them, they get triggered. When those people are triggered, they want to take revenge. For example, you can arrive at work in a good mood. You're not meddling in other people's affairs. Just come there to do your work. You say good morning to everyone. You go to your desk and do your job in a good mood. It can be that some of the colleagues can't stand the good mood you're in. Why? Because they have issues in their life they don't want to face. Or maybe even the employer or the manager at work may be upset and take offense at your good attitude. And they'll try to disrupt your good mood. Why? Because your good mood exposes the unrest you have inside of them. And because they don't want to face their own unrest, they now are upset that they have to face their own unrest. Because you operating in unrest exposes their unrest. So now instead of looking in the mirror, realizing it's them, that they're the ones who need to change, they're the ones who need therapy, they're the ones who need to improve, they now will blame you as if it's your fault that they feel unrest. And they'll try to make bad comments, or if it's your employer or someone that supervises you, they may make ugly remarks about your work. They may complain about your work, even though there was nothing to complain, just confuse you to get you out of that good mood. Such people exist. Now, when someone like that encounters you, and you continue in a good mood, and you don't even regard their blackmail, this causes them to feel humiliated. And when narcissistic people feel humiliated, they become monsters. Do I claim to know exactly what happened to this woman? No. I do, however, see, based on the context, that this was an inside job. What I mean by that? Someone close to her, it's not someone from far away, someone close to her couldn't stand that she had this positive attitude in life. She was not like a missionary wanting to change the world or anything like that, but she just had a positive attitude in life, doing what you like to do, helping people. And she didn't disrupt anyone else. Well, at least she didn't on purpose disrupt anyone else. Miserable people are always disrupted when they see someone else in a good mood. So, imagine this. At her high school that she attended, or maybe at the college where she studied, wherever she encounters this individual, there may have been this woman of a similar age, or maybe older, that noticed her good mood, and noticed that she was not easily blackmailed into feeling bad about herself. Now, this individual got upset, thinking, who does Frauke think she is? Just because she didn't want to look at herself. Now, she begins to complain and conduct a smear campaign. But because Frauke had a good reputation, people wouldn't have it. So this humiliated her even more. Then she began to complain about it to one of her simp boyfriends. And the simp boyfriend just wanted to keep her happy, to have sexual access. He decided, you know what, me and my buddies, we will take care of this Frauke, don't worry. And then later, Frauke disappears, and, well, then the woman asked the boyfriend, what did she want to think to Frauke? The boyfriend denies being a boyfriend, that means, well, we dumped her somewhere. But hey, the woman who wanted Frauke gone is now happy because, hey, she's gone. She remains quiet, people don't find out, and life continues. Now, am I saying that this is exactly what happened? No, but this is a likely scenario. Look, when you're dealing with crime, the one mistake a lot of people make is they want to be logical about it. Look, when it comes to financial crime, criminals just want to get some money, then they're logical. A criminal who's out to get money will not rob a homeless guy, or they will not rob someone on welfare. No, they will go to places where people actually have money. They will go to a bank, or they will go to a business, or they will break into a wealthy neighborhood. When it comes to finances, criminals are quite logical, because you don't break in where there is no money. you risk your life as well as going to prison. But when it comes to personal crimes, what I mean is crimes motivated by personal feelings, throw logic out of the window. Throw it out. For example, if someone can't stand you, why? Because they are projecting their issues on you. That's them projecting their unrest on you. As if it's your fault they feel awkward on the inside. Now, if they go so far that they want to get rid of you so that they can feel good, there's no logic in that. Nevertheless, that's how they feel. And because they feel that way, they act that way. And think about it. People who commit crimes of passion, they go all off. For example, if you want to kill someone by stabbing them, one good stab in the neck or at the chest is sufficient. But people who act out of emotions, because they want to dump, they will stab someone 20, 30, 40, someone even 50 or 60 times. One stabbing on the right spot was good enough. So, when it comes to crime related to finances, use logic. When it comes to crime related to emotions, throw logic out the window. And I'm not saying this is the case, but it seems to me, I hope I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. But it seems to me that in this case, there was a logical approach to the situation. And this logical approach filtered out information that may have been useful. It's simple. This woman was not contributing to negativity. She had a positive outlook on life. She wasn't even that outgoing that she was mingling with a lot of people. So, who would want her gone? That is someone close to her. I'm not saying intimately close, but someone close to her in a close proximity couldn't stand her good outlook on life. And they meditated on having her gone, and they got what they wanted. In this case, people know what happened to her. They do. And don't be mistaken, crimes of passion, man, they can go from mild to extreme. Never underestimate how far narcissistic people are willing to go to prove a point. Yes, I suggest that the reason Frauke was murdered was because there were miserable people wanting to prove a point against her happiness. Narcissistic people have no bounds how far they will go to prove a point. If they're not kept in check, these are the type of things they do. So learn from this case. Just because you are not bothering anyone else, just because you're not afflicting anyone, doesn't mean people won't afflict you. When you continue in life in a positive attitude, with positive I don't mean denial. Positivity implies that yes, there are difficulties, you acknowledge difficulties, and you do difficulties in the proper way, but you always go for the best in life. When you have a positive attitude in life, there will be people attacking you for it. Why? Because they don't want to face anything in life. They don't want to face issues. They don't want to face themselves. So when they see you facing yourself and working on yourself and being better, they want to stop you. They want to sabotage you. And if you don't allow them to sabotage you, they feel like you're robbing them, and now they want to take revenge by taking your life. I know it's illogical. It's dumb. Yes, but that's how a lot of folks are. It's easier to take it out on someone else than to look at themselves and, you know what, I feel neglectful towards myself. Let me improve. I hope people find out as soon as possible what happened to this young woman. Just be assured that when the truth comes out, it's going to be shocking and it's going to be something people don't want to hear. Do I have suspicions about what might come out? As already said, someone close couldn't stand her moving forward. And that someone close committed an inside job together with collaborators to have her gone. Based on the data we have till now, that she had contact with her roommate, who's also her ex-boyfriend, around 7 days before the contact stopped, shows that whoever kidnapped her was someone who knew about her. The people that kidnapped her knew about her surroundings. Think about it. Since when does a kidnapper allow you to keep your mobile phone? And remember, her mobile phone, the battery was dead. How did she, after leaving the Irish pub with an empty battery on the 11 p.m. on the 20th of June, how could she, within 2 hours, have a full battery and she didn't go home? That means someone else must have provided her a battery. So, the people that kidnapped her also knew that she had an empty battery. Now, who knew she had an empty battery? Was her best friend. But maybe there was someone else at the pub who noticed it. And because they noticed it, they told someone else, you can make your move. They knew that she would have to walk a long distance. And at the time, she didn't have much money on her, around €5. That means that whoever kidnapped her also knew that she would likely walk home. This was a setup. I'm not suspecting the best friend. It could also be maybe the bartender nearby or some of the guests at the party there at the Irish pub. Anyway, this was a setup. The people that kidnapped her knew her situation and knew when to strike. I'm just being real here. This case stinks. This was an inside job. And there are people out there who know what happened, but they don't want to be involved. Well, I pray that whatever happened comes out and learn from this case. Some people are not happy with you doing well in life. They're not. So beware who you share your good news with. That's it for now. Keep on growing with Christ and be at peace.